video. Today Mum is going to be teaching you how to make the infamous rock cakes. You guys have been asking for the recipe for ages. Mum uses the traditional rock buns from 1000 Best Ever Recipes, which is Martha Day apparently. See, it does make noise. We've been waiting for the washing machine to finish.
Sorry about that.
It's singing the song of its people. Well, it's singing the song of Dad's people. We'll have to let him know. I'm going to hand you over to Mum. I'm going to sit the other side of the camera and offer critical advice if asked for. Take it away.
That is scary. Well, I have assembled all of the ingredients in their containers. So what we needed was plain flour, 8 ounces, 2 teaspoons, beg its pardon, of baking powder, 4 ounces of butter, 4 ounces of dried fruit, 4 ounces of Demerara sugar, grated rind of half an orange, 1 egg beaten, and 2 tablespoons of milk, which I haven't got out.
Close though. Close.
Close.
The recipe will be in the description bar down below, all typed up. All the ingredients will be in the description bar down below, all typed up for you. So what's the first step?
First step is...
You've got 2 mixing bowls there, is that right?
Yes.
She's got 2 mixing bowls as well.
1 because I'm going to measure the flour out and sieve it.
Sieve it?
Sieve it.
Isn't that a type of Asian cat? I'm going to put a pop-up of a civet in there.
Okay, yeah, brilliant, yeah. So, first of all then, it says preheat the oven, which I've put on.
What to?
It says 200 degrees centigrade. I find that a bit hot.
Yeah, we have had burnt rock cakes before.
Because I have a fan assisted oven, so I put it on at 180 and it works. I sift the dry ingredients into a bowl and rub in the fat. Now, by dry ingredients, I learned this, it does not include sugar, funnily enough. So you start with the flour, and we need 8 ounces.
You'll notice the difference between Mum's cooking show and James and Dad's cooking show. Mum is sober and actually teaching you how to cook the thing. If you haven't watched James and Dad's cooking show, I will list it down below. You won't learn how to make squiddy pie, but hopefully you'll have a giggle.
Oh dear. Sorry, I didn't show you this. I've got my scales underneath the bowl. Oh dear, now I've messed it up.
She zeroed it with the bowl on.
Okay, so I will use the other bowl and put it back to 0.
Yeah, so put your bowl on your scales, zero it, then add ingredients.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're teaching you to suck eggs, but just in case.
Yeah. Because I do this frequently, this sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't know why you've been looking at the book.
No. Well, just because I thought I ought to, try and do it right. Because I make it up as I go along quite often.
Yes. We did recently make, Mum recently made rock cakes with chocolate chips in them because Wilson doesn't like mixed fruit and they were not a success. They were too dry. But Wilson liked them, so that was good, and I ate the rest of them because, cake. But would not recommend substituting chocolate chips for the dried fruit. The dried fruit does give it some moisture.
Yeah. They do have, I mean, I would because I would have made a, what do you call them?
The chocolate muffins?
Yes.
That you made for my birthday?
Yes.
They were very nice.
Yes. I think that's what we should have done.
Yes, but at least we've experimented and tried, so don't substitute the dried fruit for chocolate chips, people.
Running out of flour here.
Oh dear.
I think we'll be alright.
And you're sieving it to get any lumps out, right?
Yeah, and aerate it.
Oh, okay.
So you hold it above the bowl.
Maybe that's why my baking always comes out so dense, because I sieve it, but I sieve it just directly through rather than with some air in it.
No, it likes air.
Okay.
So just a little bit more. A little bit more. I think we're just about there. That's it. Oops. Okay. So we have our flour and we've made a lovely mess, so that's fine. Now we want 2 teaspoons, and when they say teaspoons, you need a traditional sized, good solid teaspoon. And what you do is you take it out of the little thing and you actually level it like that. So that's 1, and then you level it. Okay, that's 2. I learned that one. I don't know who taught me that one, Jamie Oliver or somebody. Right, so what we want to do now is add the butter, and we need 4 ounces of butter. So you put this back to 0.
Ah, okay.
And that'll be all of that and maybe a little bit more. Yeah.
And the thing to note here is that this butter is room temperature. We keep our butter out. And we don't want butter straight from the fridge because it will make it slightly more difficult, because it will be obviously harder.
Yeah, you definitely, for this, because you're going to
and is this salted butter as well?
rub it in. No, it's the cooking
Unsalted
butter.
Right.
With a little bit of salted added, because I haven't got quite enough of the unsalted. Which is fine. You get that to 4 ounces. There we are. Excellent.
We don't mind fingers in this house.
Now I did wash my hands before I started. Very important. Now wash your hands. So the next job is to rub the butter into the flour, which is a messy old business.
Yeah.
And best done with the hands.
If you've got long nails, you're gonna have cake under your nails, or the start of cake under your nails. Do you know why sugar is not classed as a dry ingredient?
I don't know.
I mean,
I add
that's
it in
weird.
sometimes, to be honest, because I've put it all in, but I'm trying to do it as it says. Then I will add the sugar. It actually rubs in better when you've got the sugar there, so I don't know why you shouldn't. Very gently, you don't want to be manhandling it, you do it as lightly as you can.
And it literally is a rubbing motion, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a sort of... There we are, it's pretty good. Okay, so now I've got lovely messy hands, which is good. Get it all in there. Back on the scales. 0, 0. Add the sugar. I'm going to get a clean spoon. And I want 4 ounces. And we use this nice soft brown that Sian got by mistake, and it's lovely.
I was sent for muscovado.
No.
What was I sent for?
You were sent for ordinary brown caster sugar.
And then there was the soft brown sugar from the co-op. So I bought that instead because there wasn't any caster sugar, and apparently I did well.
Well, it adds a lovely, I think, a lovely flavour.
Clearly we're going to need some more.
Yep. Here we are. We're going to need some more of that. Right. Also, not recipe, put in a spoonful of ground cinnamon, because we all like it, don't we?
Yes.
And then just mix that in. Okay, get any lumps in the sugar out. Very gently again, it's keeping it airy. Right, so the next job is we have to grate the orange peel. And I will eat the orange later.
Yeah, there's always badly abused oranges lying around.
Yeah, it's a bit sad. But it really adds to the flavour, doesn't it? You get all that peel off. Zest, isn't it? Zest is what it's called. It makes the orange go hard, so you have to eat the orange that day. Otherwise it's like a solid...
It's like you use a protective layer away.
Yes.
Poor orange.
It's very cool, really, if you think about it. Not sure I like that. So there we are. Get all of the zest in.
It smells wonderful in here.
Already, doesn't it? Yeah. Right. And then, pop it back on here again. We're going to add...
Zero it out.
Zero it out. Yeah, always zero it out. We're going to add 4, it says scant 4 ounces. Well, I do generous.
What is scant? Less than?
Less than.
Because that's a term used in quilting a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose it is.
Scant 1/4 inch seam.
Difficult to see the actual scale. That's it. Right.
This dried fruit also has glacé cherries in it. So
Yeah,
this
which is
gonna be
very
interesting.
special. Right,
Is
well
this-
actually that's not terribly scant. That's 4.5 ounces.
Is that the one that I got from Amazon?
Yes.
Mm.
It's lovely.
So that gets mixed in.
Yeah, just gently again. Lovely jubbly. Now we have an egg somewhere. Just egg, cup, and whisk. Break the egg into the cup. Give it a whisk. So it's just mixed in. Yeah. Lovely. And then pour that in. Alright, and now we just stir that in gently. And you're making like a slight dough. Now we need a couple of tablespoons of milk to add, but you want to keep it as dry as possible, so it's finding that happy
Yeah, it all needs to be combined.
place.
But
Yeah.
it's not super wet or sticky.
No.
We ran out of space, so we started again, and we've been joined by.
You're doing well, you're doing well. Bit more practice. Yes.
How has he survived this long?
I don't know.
Ah, I can run fast.
Right, so we don't want it too wet, that's the key. And it says 2 tablespoons of milk, but you only use as much as you need, and quite often 1 is enough. So we just mix that in gently again.
I'm very excited about those glacé cherries.
Yes, hope you get the one with them.
I think you managed to get 2 in there.
I did. I think we're nearly there. I don't think it's going to need a lot more wet. A little bit more. Just a little bit more. Half a spoon.
I'll show you guys what the mixture looks like close up when it's done.
This is because you don't want them to sort of flatten off in the oven completely. The intention is they become little rocks.
Hence the name.
But quite often they're flat. So it's all about getting the right moisture in. I think we're there. Don't you?
Looks good.
That looks about right to you.
Let me.
I don't know if they can
Well, if
see.
you give me the bowl, I'll show them.
Oh, right, okay.
Saves moving the camera.
There we
So
go.
that's the kind of consistency that you're looking for. There isn't really any dry ingredients stuck to the sides anymore. They've all been incorporated, but it's still quite sticky.
So the next thing is I have these wonderful, they're like Teflon sheets that I put on the trays.
If I can find them on Amazon, they will be linked down below.
Mine are Arga ones.
You never know, I might get them from Amazon.
Oh, you might. So what we do now is we get the mixture and make it into a blob.
Technical term.
Technical term, yeah. And put about that size, not too big because you don't want them too big. Blob.
You can eat more of them if they're smaller and not feel guilty.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's probably what it's around.
You want to be fairly uniform in the size as well because they're baking them as well.
Yeah.
That's right, isn't it?
Yeah. What you can do, if you don't mind, is actually do it with your fingers. But this is the posh way. I thought for filming I probably ought to do it the posh way.
You can get all that cake batter off the back of that big spoon.
Big.
I was going to say, uniform inside.
Uniform inside. I'm trying to make sure they've all got a decent bit of fruit in them. So it's nearly a tablespoon full. Bit less than. That's got a lot of fruit in it, that one. You don't want to put them too close together because they can morph into a big blob. Because I've got the two trays, I might separate them a bit more. Oh, that's a cherry one. Cherry's almost as big as the rock bun. There we go. What's he up to?
Dad wants to come in with some washing. And I'm looking at him like, no, this is a cooking show.
Right.
The cherry one is a little bit hanging on the front. Yeah, there you go.
No.
You don't want that little bit of skin.
No.
And smoosh them together.
Smoosh them together. I quite honestly do them often with my fingers.
Yeah, she's being posh.
Yeah, I'm trying to show you properly.
That first one that you did looks quite small.
Yes, I thought
A little
that.
bit in that one.
Yeah.
I am clearly an expert in rock cakes. hence my supervision.
In the eating of them. She's definitely an expert.
I don't think I've ever actually cooked these, you know.
It's very easy. Right, now I'm going to just spread them out a little bit more because I can.
You've definitely got some batter on the back of those spoons that needs to get incorporated.
Yep. Have I? Okay. I think that looks about good. So I've left a decent space in between them.
Yeah, so they don't morph into one giant rock cake.
Yeah, which has happened. If they're a bit wet, it's very easy to do that. So let's hope this is the right consistency this time. But it still tastes good. Right. So there we are.
So now they go in the oven for...
Well, again, they do cook very quickly. So I now put them in for 12 minutes on 180 and look at them. Sometimes move them about.
Wasn't it sort of like 8 minutes that we ended up looking at them, because didn't they burn at 12?
That was the Arga.
Okay.
I'll put them in for 10. And we'll check.
Split the difference.
And we'll check them. So they're in, and we talk to Alexa nicely. We say, Alexa, timer, 10 minutes, please.
How long?
10 minutes, please.
10 minutes. Starting now.
Thank you.
Everyone was very impressed by how polite you were to Alexa. I haven't yet explained that you're fearful of the computer or robotic uprising, and she wants to be a favoured pet when that happens.
Have you watched Humans? Oh, definitely be on the right side.
It's been 10 minutes.
I think I'm going to give them 1 more minute. Very exact science, this rock buns, isn't it? Okay.
You can turn the oven back on.
Yeah,
Okay. So you touched them and they were slightly too squishy?
They're a little bit too squishy. I can put a knife in and pull it out, but they're not really deep enough to do that, so it's best just to use your finger. If they're too squishy, they'll just not be cooked in the middle. But you have to be really careful because
They can go over very quickly.
they can go over very quickly. And you don't want biscuits.
No.
Rock biscuits.
Although we have had those.
We have had them, yeah. I made Dad some ginger cookies the other day and he loved them. And
Yeah,
they were
they were
really lovely, weren't they?
They were
Lovely. Yeah.
Yeah, Wilson appreciated those too.
Oh, did he?
Mm.
Good.
Yes.
I might do them again, but we need some more stem ginger. 2 things for the shopping list.
I'm timing it.
Oh, are you? Oh, you. Oh, I see. I have a Sean.
Yes.
Sean?
Pre-Alexa.
Thank you.
Okay, it's been a minute.
Okay. Right. Yeah, we think these are done. There we go. There. So if you, they're a little bit just right, I think.
It's slightly springy.
Slightly springy. So you take them straight off and you put them on a rack.
And then you fend off the family because they will burn their mouths if they try and eat them now.
And they do.
Yes, because they smell amazing.
I know. They smell gorgeous, don't they?
There
There we go.
So when Larry and Lorianne were here, we made them rock cakes. Mum made them rock cakes, and Lorianne said they were very cookie-like.
Yes.
American cookie-like.
Yes.
So it's kind of an in-between mixture between a cake and a cookie.
Yeah.
But they're quick and they're yummy.
Yeah, and everybody likes them, and they're not dry, are they, for some reason?
Apparently, except for Wilson. But Wilson doesn't like mixed fruit, so that's his issue.
It's his recipe. We do that for him. But I'm going to think of a way of
No, I think chocolate muffins, like you
doing
said.
chocolate muffins
Yeah,
next time.
because it doesn't work with chocolate chips in these. We have tried.
And there you are. That's pretty good, isn't it?
It's very good.
We've got 15.
Now we wait.
And now we wait.
One eternity later.
So now,
Nearly edible.
yeah. Now we make a cup of tea,
Yes.
and then should have cooled down enough that you can have it with your cup of tea. Yeah. Rock cakes are definitely best enjoyed with cup of tea and out of the oven.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, that's totally edible now.
Yeah. Is it perfect or is it a bit over?
No, it's really crunchy on the outside and cakey on the inside.
Oh.
She wants a bite of mine because she doesn't want her own until after her lunch. Thank you.
Mmm. That's perfect.
They're good.
You should just have that little crunch on the out. And really soft and moist.
And it's still warm from the oven, so it's really yummy. And it's been probably 10 minutes since they've been out. If
Yeah. Yeah.
that.
So you can imagine they don't last long in any household, really?
No. No, they do not.
No. I'm looking forward to mine for tea time.
Yes. Well, thank you very much. No, don't go away.
Oh,
I'm not
oh.
finished yet. She's trying to get off camera as quickly as she can. Thank you very much for teaching us how to make rock cakes. I know they've been asking for it for a long time, so here you go. Next up is knitting tutorials.
Yeah.
We're trying to work out how to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't quite worked it out yet,
No.
but we will.
Yeah.
It's my pleasure.
Good, thank you very much. So I hope you, no, don't go away still. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, and I will see you again very soon. Bye. Thank you.
Oh, lovely.